All right, I think we're live. All right, are we live? All right, cool. We're live there. I'm actually can honestly say I never thought I'd be back on Facebook. I never thought I'd be back on Facebook, but some guy convinced me to go back on Facebook. He said, "Look, dude, um, there are people who need to hear the story about retirement planning, and if you're not reaching them, that's a mistake." I said, "Ugh." And there's a lot of people who are boomers who are on Facebook that won't find me on YouTube. They won't find me on Rumble. And so now I'm back on Facebook. I'm not going to do much on Facebook, but it's just like, there's a story that people need to hear. Hey, Kim, right on. Good, good, good. Let's roll. I'm here. We're going to talk about tonight. I miss everybody. Now we're just going to take questions, talk some thoughts and stuff. Hey, we got somebody got a thumbs up there. All right, we got a Facebook person on there. All right, right on. That's good. Again, I never thought I'd be back on Facebook, but facts are that's where audience is. Audience needs to. Hey, we got spectator, right on. And if I can help people, I don't know. You need to maintain your Facebook page. We need you. Be careful. Don't get in Facebook jail. Yeah, I don't do anything on Facebook, Kim, that would put me in jail that I can think of. I mean, I don't post. The whole reason I got Little Rocks in the house, right on. And there's Denise. All right. The whole reason I got off Facebook is it pissed me off, man. I was letting the political crap piss me off. And I said it's not worth it. But frankly, it probably is because I got a story to tell. And I think people, should hear it for sure. So, and if people find me on Facebook, then that's where I need to be. So I'm going to start doing it more with Facebook. Which, to be honest with you, it's okay. It's okay. No other way around. Hey, we got Young Timer here. All right. Now we got our whippet boy right there in Young Timer. So remember, Young Timer. Everyone just throw rotten tomatoes at Young Timer. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We got my man in North Pole, Alaska. Wow. And by the way, if you're wondering why I'm just in my t-shirt, the reason for that is we got the reason I'm in my t-shirt, I just got out of the garden, just planting some. I'm not doing any corn. I'm not doing any. Something else I'm not doing. I'm doing snap peas, potatoes, peppers, garlic. I got a bunch of blueberries, strawberries out there. I got some arugula, not arugula. All those things, asparagus out there. So I got all that. Hey, we got Scott's in the house. Where are you at, Scott? Anyway, yeah, right here. But Judy B says I was on Facebook and saw you come on. Would have missed it otherwise. Right on, man. All right, Judy, I appreciate that. Anyway, so I've been out there just planting stuff like crazy, man. I'm doing a lot of container gardening this year because old Finney likes to get involved in there. So a lot of strawberries in containers, potatoes in containers, peppers in containers, garlic in containers, and then I got some asparagus in the ground. And hopefully Finney stays away. I put up some chicken wire to try to keep that dog out. It won't keep him out if he has a mind to it. But I've been out in the garden doing a lot, and the freaking blueberries are, whew, man, coming out like crazy. All right, so I saw a question here. My man said, yeah, well, YouTube's crazy. I mean, they just banned Tulsi or put Tulsi Gabbard in jail because she says the war machine. Crazy. All right, so Moneybag says he's on the cusp, or she is on the cusp, or they, right? We want to be accepting here. They on the cusp of retirement, 59, 1.4 million investments, 47 stocks, 53% in cash. Is this too conservative? No. Well, I don't know what your spending is, but no way, man. No way. I was just working with the guy today. Nice guy. They're done just, oh man, headache. They're doing just fine for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And this guy said, man, he just got out of VTI. He's got, so between he and his better half, they got like $3 million. He got out. He has I think he had like 1.8. His wife had 1.2, maybe 1.7 to 1.3. I can't remember. And he took his out of VTI, put it all in cash. His wife's all in the total stock index. And when you run the analysis, it's basically a 40-60 portfolio, 40% in fixed income, cash in this regard, and 60% in VTI. And well, it's actually the Fidelity version of the total stock index. He's like, man, maybe I should get back in. And so we run the numbers like, dude, what's his name? Greg. I'll call him Greg. I said, Greg, you're not running out of money. If you've won the game, stop flipping playing. And he said the music to my ears is, it feels good knowing I have all this cash. It feels good. I don't worry. He likes to, he lives near a beach. He likes to go to the beach and just hang out. And it's like, if you've won the game, just stop. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, we don't need growth. You don't have any kids. He's got some nieces and nephews. Nice guy. Paid a hell of a lot of taxes. Going to pay a hell of a lot more. But it's like, why? Why be more invested in growth when you don't need the growth? It doesn't make any sense. Basically no debt. He could write off his debt. He wants 10 years. Let me just close my shade. Hold on a second. He's got 10 years. He wants to have 10 years in cash. And then he's going to have the rest in a basically Wellesley fund. I said, and we're running the numbers. I'm like, dude, and I'm basically throwing money up against the wall to show him that he can spend very much. He can light cigars with $100 bills if he wants. He's not going to live like a pauper. He just has done so well that he saved so much. It's okay to be conservative. And I don't know about my man who just asked me that. He's got 47 stocks and 53 bonds. I tell you, man, I don't think people recognize the extent that we're looking at World War III. I was reading it. Oh, maybe I won't bring it up. My concern, and I tell you, and we are sending armed drones to Ukraine. Biden has now called, what's his name, Putin, a war criminal. You can't come back from this. You can't. Look, I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen. But it's going to be a new day when we all wake up from this insanity of they want to draw us into World War III. You can see this a mile away. The Marco Rubios of the world, the Mitt Romneys, never mind the people on the left, in terms of the Democrats. Like, the war machine is very, very profitable, and they want to draw us into a war. And you can see this a mile away. And now we know what's going to happen, man. And the facts are the Russians are just they're winning. There's just no way around that. Now, the media is acting like the Russians are losing, and the reason the media is doing that is so they could say that there'll be this chemical thing because a desperate army will have chemical weapons. And they're like, that's simply not going to happen on the Russian side. It's going to happen on the puppet regime that's in there on the Ukraine side. And that's going to draw us into war. If that happens, that's not good. War is bad. War is bad, man. And to go into a war because our chests are, I'm Joe Biden or I'm Marco Rubio, it's freaking insanity. It's nuts. And I don't care how much you hate Putin. This has nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with us. We should stay the hell out of Dodge, 100%. But the problem is now because we control NATO and we don't control the EU, but we certainly control NATO. So now we're too deep in this now. You know what I'm saying? So now we're calling Putin a war thug, a war criminal on this. I'm like, we can't come back from this. And I don't know where it's going to be. I don't know. But, I mean, hell's bells. If I don't need to get growth, I'm going conservative. That's for doggone sure. And I think about this in my own portfolio every day. I think about, man, I just tell myself one of these days there's going to be a big correction, or not correction, a big drop off. The problem is I don't have enough cash. You see what I'm saying? I don't. And like, you might, whoever's out there watching this, you might have a bunch of cash on the side. Then you can afford the risk. I can't. You see what I'm saying? Now, with that said, I also got to concern myself because I'm only 51 years old, for heaven's sake. So I can't. It's one of those, it's just, I got a little bit of debt. Well, not a little bit. I'm still owe quite a bit of money on this house. That's all the debt I got. Thankfully, I paid everything else off. But still, I got debt. I don't have nearly enough cash. All my portfolio is pretty aggressive, even though I did downshift a little bit to Wellington from VTI or VTV. But I'm sitting there thinking, look, dude, in 2008, so the Russians they're defaulting essentially on their loan payments right now. So we are in a 30-day era, 30-day, I don't know what they call it. There's something they call grace period. So the Russian bonds are in a 30-day grace period right now. So they're either not going to pay the debt on the bonds, or they're going to freaking pay in rubles, and people aren't going to be all that willing to accept rubles. So the problem that we have here now is that we're like, okay, so if Russia doesn't pay, what does that mean? Well, if you look back at 1998, the Russian default, when we had the long-term capital management, I don't have that book here. No, it's back there. The long-term capital management, that basically destroyed the markets. I mean, literally, there had to be bailouts again. That was the beginning of the bailouts that we happened in 2008. The issue is that Russia defaulting is a bad thing, if that makes sense, and they're already they're in their arrears. They haven't paid their debts, and it's not a huge amount of money, a couple hundred million, but more and more is coming due. And when they don't pay, what does that mean? Now we got both sides are basically putting up their chest saying, "Oh, you called me a bad name. No, you called me a bad name." It's not like I was just joking. Let's shake hands. It's not going to be like that. And now China's getting involved, saying basically you guys, about the U.S. I don't know what to make of all this, but I'm telling you right now, and everyone says, oh, and this is what freaking ticks me off too. Everyone's like, well, the markets have always come back. Well, that is true. They have in the past tense always come back. You can't say they will. No one has any idea. But even that though, it's not fun, dudes. Sitting in retirement, you just retired, and the markets are down 40%, or they're down 25%. It's not fun. So even though they've always come back, it doesn't mean it always comes back in the time that you want. Sometimes it takes a long time for the markets to come back. 2000, it took to 2012 before we got back to even. If you're pulling money out of the portfolio, your goose is cooked. So while the markets came back, you might not have, because you're freaking gone. You're bankrupt now. And I'm just telling you, man, this idea, oh yeah, it's always come back. Well, 1966 and 1982, the markets came back, but it wasn't good times. I'll tell you that right now. And during the 70s, not easy to deal with. That just ticks me off. They always come back. Well, not if you're pulling money out, and also not if you're trying to put your head down at night. And so, anyway, the point being is, I think safety is not a bad move at all. I don't have any answer here, man. I just sit there. I think about this myself. I'm like, I think about this every day. Like, I mean, I should just go to cash. And I'm like, but I don't want to go to cash. I'm only 50. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to be, I don't know if my man Eric's on here, but he was in cash for a long time, and he missed out some serious growth because he thought that the markets were way overvalued and stuff. And that's a challenge, man. You don't want to be that guy either. And Eric's a good guy and all that, but he missed out on some significant markup run up, and I don't want to be that guy either. So you're like, what do you do? I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I do know that if I have no debt, that makes it a hell of a lot easier to be more risky. If I do have debt and I don't have enough cash, this guy makes it a hell of a lot more comforting to go to cash. I'm not there. I'm just telling you right now. I'm still invested heavily, but it's a scary thing, man. No other way around that. All right. Hey, there we go. Doug and Carl from Tejas, right on. Oh, there we go. Oh man, sorry about your bad week, Ken. Sorry about that. 44 days from retirement, Choctaw Ron. Are you in Choctaw County, Alabama? Because that's one of the places with the lowest property taxes is the Choctaw County, Alabama. All right, here we go. John Freeburn says some CFPs say you can do a Roth conversion and wait till 4/15 the following year to pay the taxes. Should they be paid right away, or can you wait? I'd pay them right away. Absolutely, I'd pay them right away. Just give the IRS, give to Caesar what's Caesar, and give to God what's God. So Caesar gets his money, and I give it to him now. All right, Tennessee Mound right here, man. We got go time with Scott in Iowa. Go time. All right, Dan's got a new build. He's landscaping it now. Right on, right on. All right, so Kim's got tomatoes, zucchini. I'm ready to plant in pots and then transfer it in a month to a garden. Yeah. So I usually start with a lot of, this is just some tomatoes. Oh yeah, they're starting to. So basically, I'm not going to see that very well. So you see these tomato seeds in there, and they're starting to germinate a little bit. This is actually funny. These are old seeds I got from a local feed store. Yeah, there's a couple. There's a yeah, and so we'll wait for these to spray. Yeah, you can. There's you can't really see it, but they're starting to. Yeah, and you got to keep them warm. So you really want to get a warm mat you can play your seeds on. And then what you do is just take some tweezers, or I just take my fingers, and you put them into your tiny little pots. You know, let them go up a little bit until you see usually about 2 inches, and then take them from the pot and you put them in the soil or the container. You remember, guys, when you want to plant a bunch of seeds, because especially if they're old, these are probably 5 years old. A good amount aren't going to germinate, so you want to make sure the ones that germinate so you want to have enough, and all you do is you wet this down with a spray bottle. Keep it in some a warm area, because if they're cold, they're not going to germinate. The heat is essential for germinating seeds. A lot of people don't recognize that. You can't do that with carrots. I guess you could. It's stupid though. Don't do that in carrots. But tomatoes, peppers, onions, all that stuff you can do. But carrots and uh, there's another one I'm thinking about, like a beets. You don't want to do that with carrots and beets and things of that nature. Peppers, tomatoes, onions, help, snap peas, all that stuff you can do. You start them in a little container, spray it down with some water, keep it warm, out of the sun, out of the direct sunlight, but keep it warm. And then once they start sprouting a little bit of roots, you take them, put them in a little, one by one thing, what I'm saying? A little one by one thing filled with soil. Wet them down, wait till they get about 2 inches, maybe even 3 inches high. Take those suckers out and put them in your pots or put them in your garden. And that's the way to do it right there. And that's a good thing. And so, but again, you got to use a lot of seeds, because a lot aren't going to germinate, or I should say a lot. Let's say you're not sure which ones are going to germinate. And a lot of people make the mistake. I don't know if a lot of people, I've made this mistake before, where you plant some seeds, like one or two in a pot, and then none germinate, and then you wasted all that time. So what you want to do is you have enough seeds planted and germinated, so that way after they all germinate, you can kind of go in there and pick out the ones that are, I hate to say it, the less strong of your growth ones. Anyway, that's the way to do it. And that way you start getting some food, and you can put them in pots. Are easy, man. I love putting them in pots. You can get all kinds of stuff in pots. The roots, if you think about, like, a tomato root plant isn't huge. It's not like a tree. You see what I'm saying? I mean, so the roots, as long as it gets well drained water and enough nutrients, it's going to be fine. Now, you're not talking a tiny pot, 5-gallon bucket works just fine, 100%. You can even do like probably a 2-gallon bucket for a lot of these things. But anyway, that's how you do it. All right. So Scott's back between Orlando and Tampa. Right on, right on. All right. All right. So this is a good question. What actions to take when you're 1 year from retirement? So my man Chris Barfield just emailed me this. He got this from Barfield Financial. He sent me an email, and I'm going to do a sole video on this later on. But this is good. So he said you might want to do this for a video. It's an email he got. So Chris Barfield says, let's see. So this guy who emailed Chris. I retired in November 2015, and although, hold on a second. What up, dog? Yeah. What? Oh man, you kidding me? What? Yeah. So basically, the Patriots haven't got anybody. That's fantastic. All right, I'm on a live stream right now. But that's good stuff. Good intelligence. Love you. Bye bye. Yeah, so Liam just sharing me that the Devontae Adams went to the Raiders, and the Patriots had nobody. The Patriots are basically trying to go minor league football, apparently. It's weird. Like, I kind of got out of football and basketball, all that stuff, until I have a kid who likes it. Now I'm watching it again. It's weird. All right. So anyway, man says, and Liam's really upset with the Patriots. He goes, "Why aren't you getting anybody? You're what the hell? You got no receiver core, none." And all these receivers, Amari Cooper, Devontae Adams, they're all going to various teams, but the Pats are just like, "Oh, I'm so scared to sign anybody. My name's Bill Belichick. I don't know how to call plays without Tom Brady." Yeah, freaking Bill Belichick. All right. So my man says, I started experiencing retirement anxiety about 2 years out. Specifically, my anxiety was focused on my anticipated reduction in my monthly take home pay. So I decided to determine before I could live on this reduced take-home pay before I retired. I would like to share with you what I did. Right. So knowing my retirement was about 2 years out, I ran my retirement projections and calculated my retirement take-home pay. I determined my retirement take-home pay would be about $1,300 a month, less than what I was making when I was working. So, knowing most of my expenses were going to remain the same in retirement, I opened a new bank account and set up a new payroll deduction of $1,300 a month, which was deposited into that bank. I wanted to see how challenging it was going to be to live on my projected retirement take home pay. And I quickly found there was no problem at all living on that. And 18 months later, I retired, and I retired without that initial retirement anxiety, and I had a bank account with a nice $23,400 in it. That works really well. So basically, my man is saying, "Look, dude, go ahead to retirement. A year to two before retirement. Let's just say you think you need 50,000 a year to live on, and while you're working, you're making 60,000 a year. So I just use that for example. You take home 60,000 a year. Take that 10,000 a year and dump it into a side account, and just see if you can live on 50,000 a year, like what you're expecting is going to be your income in retirement. If so, you're going to be golden. If not, you got to adjust. But I thought that was a good email that Chris had sent me. All right. My man says I've learned this guy is the guy from the North Pole. The past month since finding my channel, thank you. Well, thank you. He's learned from me. I wonder if he knows my politics. Shh. Don't tell him my politics, because he might run away. He said, I didn't know that was about you. My Liam did the March Madness bracket, and my wife did. I don't. I think Liam had Gonzaga to win the championship. Who did watch? Hold on a second. Hey, babe. Who did you have win the championship? And Liam had Gonzaga? Did Maddie do it? Did Maddie do one? How about Brad? Okay. All right, so Liam had Gonzaga winning, and Charlotte had Arizona. All right. Right on, Jay. Jay says, still working, but with way less stress thanks to Heritage Wealth. Ooh, I'd be stressed. Look at that cat. Yeah, there goes Kim. She's going to shoot target bow at the local club with a bunch of other men. That's good stuff. Yeah, I'm absolutely okay. Send me my email. Yeah, so if happy to share emails with the ladies. Yeah, it's absolutely okay. I had hey David. A couple other people had forwarded their email to me through they got together through emailing me. I'm a matchmaker. What about inflation? What about it? I don't get what's the question. What about it, man? Give me more than that. All right. Mike T says asset-based life insurance for long-term care sounds like a no-brainer. Okay. I don't have a problem with that. If you got a insurance policy, I've done videos on that. In fact, I interviewed my man, I forgot his name, out of Michigan. We talked a little bit about that. I don't have a problem with it. Like an annuity or a life insurance that gives you, like the Money Guard. I forgot what it's called. I used to sell that. I can't say I sold the crap out of it, but it was a good product. So you got. I remember back in my day as a broker. What did we do? We had 100,000 drop in, 50,000 per husband, 50,000 per wife. So each had 100,000. So they had $50,000 drop in cash. They got, I want to say, for some reason, I got $216,000 of life insurance. No, 200. I can't remember. It's anyway, but they had $50,000 that was always going to be their guarantee. They had 216,000 of long-term care is what it was, and 133,000 of life insurance, something like that. And so they're going to get their money back, or they're going to get a certain amount of money for long-term care, or they're going to leave a death benefit, tax-free death benefit to the surviving spouse. One of those three things would happen. Are they going to make any money? Not much, because they're not getting any asset return, but they get their money back if they want. So I'm a fan of it. All right, so here he goes. Kim says, I'm selling my house. I have plenty of cash. I'm out of pensions. I have Social Security survivor pensions. I took the same, put it at 100%. I got, yes. Well, I see, this is what I was telling my man today too, Kim, is I was saying, look, at the end of the day, You got 40% in VTI, 60% in fixed income. So if I'm right and the markets get destroyed, well, the fixed income is going to look great. It really is. And people say, but what about rising interest rates? Just stop with that, man. Just look at history of bonds or any kind of fixed income product with rising interest rates. And I'm not talking anything. I'm just talking basic stuff. BND, Ginnie Mae, CDs, just anything with rising rates. Just look at the 2 years and tell me there's any kind of huge risk there. There is just not. All right, so we got BND. We're just going to use BND, the total bond index at Vanguard. And I'm going to use VTI for the stock market. So if I'm right and the markets get destroyed, well, this guy's sitting pretty with a lot of fixed income cash, essentially, for him. If I'm wrong and the stock market goes up, well, the market goes up too. So it's the best hedge there is. I don't know if I'm getting right or wrong. I mean, look, I have no idea. No one knows nothing. That's all there is to it. All I know is if I need a certain level of growth to make my retirement successful, i.e., where I don't run out of liquid assets, well, doggone, man, you better get that level of growth. And how are you going to get it all in stocks? That would scare the living bejesus out of me, frankly. And so in this case, my man's like, look, all right, so the markets go up. Well, 40% of your stuff is in the market. You'll take advantage of it. It's not like the bonds get killed if the markets go up. There's no evidence of that. If the markets go down, well, your bonds will probably survive just fine. Your stocks will get crushed. But, I mean, at the end of the day, what else can you do? What else can you do? I mean, you don't have any debt. It's just there's nothing else to do. I mean, what are you gonna do? Buy a bunch of freaking gold? I mean, having some gold absolutely makes sense. But what I mean, I don't know what else to do. That's the issue. So that's for a guy who's retired with no debt. Then I come back to your old buddy Josh. I'm 51. I still got 3 kids in the house, and I got a little bit of debt, and I don't have enough in cash to see me through for 3 to 4 years. And if I did have enough in cash to see me through for 3 to 4 years, that means I'd have hardly anything invested anymore. I'm like, so it's a conundrum. Welcome to the world of having to make decisions. All right. There you go. So Kim's bought some BT. I don't know what BTI is and VOO, but I also bought some uranium stocks. I bought Facebook. I bought Star. All right, right on, man. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Can I discuss life insurance? I'm currently paying through 3 separate policies. Yeah. Why? I want to do that. I mean, I don't know what your I don't know how you can be underwritten, but yeah, no, you consolidate them into one, but never cancel a policy before the others are issued. I'm just telling you right now. So let's say you got basically, I'm not a life insurance expert by any stretch, but I worked at USAA for many, many years. And basically what it was is 100,000, 250, 500. I can't remember if 750 or a million, but basically those are the nice round numbers. And so if you had like 225,000 actually costs more than 250 because they can almost underwrite you with artificial intelligence. So you say, I'm doing a 15-year term for 250. That's pretty plain Jane, plain good time rock and roll policy. They'll take your blood, they make sure you're not smoking dope, and you're good to go. Easy as pie. You start messing around with the plain Jane, the right out of the box stuff, it makes it a little bit harder for underwriting. So the point being, if you got 3 policies for different amounts, yeah, just consolidate those into one for sure, man. I don't qualm with that. Just make sure again, you don't cancel before the others, not just approved, are issued. Issued. Approved doesn't mean anything. Issued is when it's in force. Approved is not in force. In force means it's in force. If you die, your wife will get the money at your death. Yeah, Romney can kiss my big fat behind. Right on. John says, I was in the military. The military industrial complex has to have their say. Yeah. 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 NATO can kiss my big fat behind. Hey, Bill Walker. All right, here's David. My wife and I have property in Nantucket. Oh, man, Nantucket. You know what we got to hear? Hold on just a second, Nantucket. If you want a good song, we're going to. Probably can't. What can I play it for like a second? I'm not sure if I can even play it without YouTube killing me. But hold on just a second. One of my favorite songs right here. All right, so my man's in Nantucket. So here is. Anyone know what song I'm going to bring up here? Share right here. The Nantucket Girl Song by the Tossers. Oh man, can I play it for like a second, or else I get banged, or what? All right, so I bet that's all I can play, or else I'll get, or else they'll ban me. I don't even know how it works. Seems like they say as long as you don't do it for more than 5 seconds, you can play it. I don't even know, but probably shouldn't have played it there. I'll probably get a ding. Anyway, so Nantucket Girl Song. What a great song, man. Life of independence is the only life for me when it comes around. All right, so my man says, David, I got a house in Nantucket, netting around $1,400 a month cash flow. Think of selling, staying a net around 550. We are both 2.5 years from retirement. My thoughts. So we take our trusty calculator. So he's getting $1,400 a month from that property. Times that by 12. That's netting $1,400 a month. So he's getting 16,800 net. Divide that by 550. He's only getting 3%. He's only getting 3%. Now that's net. That's, you know. So the question is, where else can you find? I mean, if you had, what's VTV doing right now? Hold on just a second. Let's just give an example here. And when I got a job to do, I'm a man that's handsome, I'm strapping in, I'm young. And when I got a job to do, the job gets effing done. That's the Nantucket Girl Song. Good time to hear on St. Patrick's Day, by the way. Yeah, it just occurred to me. Good time to hear the Nantucket Girl Song. You should listen to it. I'm the man who's handsome, I'm strapping in, I'm young. And when I got a job to do, the job gets freaking done. How can I find? All right, so I just want to quote here. What are I looking at? VTV. Give me a break, Market Watch. All right, there we go. VTV. So let's see what the Vanguard blink. Vanguard. And when I got a job to do. All right, the VTV. Right now, that guy is yielding what? 2.15. All right, so my man's getting 3% dividend yield equivalent, if you ask me. The Vanguard VTV is yielding 2.15. Now, can you write off the VTV? No. Can you write off rental income? Sure, absolutely. So the question that comes to my mind is, you're only getting a 3% return, a dividend, the equivalent of a dividend yield, a capitalization rate. You obviously, that's not bad. It's not bad. It's not great. I'll tell you that right now. We're usually shooting for 5 or 6. But that's what it's worth right now. Now, if he, I can't guarantee anything. I imagine he didn't pay $550 for it. All right. So imagine, let's just say he paid $300 for it. All right. So he paid $300 for it. He's getting $1,400 a month on a $300,000 yield to cost property. 16,800 divided by 300. Now he's getting 5.6. Huh? That's not so shabby. It changes, doesn't it? So the yield to cost, or yield to purchase, I forgot, yield to cost is actually quite much higher, most likely. I don't know what his cost was, than what he's getting on the yield to fair market value. So if he took that 550, he'd have to do something with it. What's he going to do with it? Well, VTV is going to pay him 50% less income than he's getting right now. So I don't know, man. Well, would a big drop off be bad for Ginnie Mae? Not historically. I mean, anytime it's a big drop off, there's a flight to quality, Al. Flight to quality means government bonds, and I can't guarantee you this, but government bonds do well when everything else is getting knocked around. Just look at 2008. I mean, it's a perfect example. Everything is correlated in dark times. They're correlated going down, except for government bonds. All right. I'm Brazilian. I'm 57. What happens to my Social Security if I stop working at 62 and apply for Social Security at 70? I don't know. I'm not sure what happens there. So my man, or whoever that person is, says he or she's Brazilian. He's 57. What happens to my Social Security if I stop working at 62, move to Brazil, and apply for Social Security at 70? I think it'd be the same thing that would happen for anybody if you stop working at 62 and wait till you're 70. But I don't know that for sure. 100%. The GOP went back to Bush McCain the minute Trump was no longer allowed. 100%, man. Yeah, 100%. So Kim says if World War III comes, we're going to be dead anyway. I cannot agree more. So Jing Wok, I have 140,000 in IRAs. I want to have that double by the time I'm 65. What would be the best way to achieve it? That means you got 7 years. You're going to need that to go to 10% a year. I don't know, man. That's 10% a year in this market. I wouldn't be banking on that. All right, so look, man, I don't know who this guy is, but think about it. Think how. All right, he says I want to have that double to 290,000. Why? What's the 290? Chalktown Ron, 43 years Air Force is enough. Ooh, 43 years in the Air Force. Ooh. Been saving half each paycheck in cash as Biden stole the election in cash. 100%. But did he steal the election? He got 81 million votes, semi-trailer technician. He got 81 million votes. He's the most popular president we've ever had. Yeah, who cares that he said he's got 3 guys, 2 can play ball, and 1 looks like he could bomb us. I was like, dude, how racist can that guy be? But hey, let's overlook it. Who cares that he said everyone has a friend who's posted naked pictures of their whatever, someone else online. And did y'all hear this? He's like, yeah, everyone has somebody they know who at one time took a picture of a naked person and posted it on the internet. What the hell? What? Maybe in DC they're sniffy Joe, but in the real world, no one does that. What the hell are you talking about? Freaking just, God, it's just disgusting. Oh, it's just disgusting. Like, yeah, yeah. Oh, thanks. Money bags. See, everyone says I'm too young to go to cash. I'm too young to fall in love. Too young to fall in love. Look, man. At the end of the day, were you too young to go in cash in 2000? Well, yes, because if you would have been in Wellington, you would have avoided all that. Were you too young to go in cash in 2007? No. When I say cash, I'm talking Ginnie Mae or something like that. I'm not talking literally cash. No, this is the issue here. You have to look at what I cannot stress enough, guys. At the end of the day, we've had a 13-year run like we've never seen in history. All right. So we know that for a fact. That I've no clue what's going to happen next. None. But we've had this mass run. We literally have an idiot, 2 idiots, just dumb as rocks in charge of our country. These are the talking heads, the figureheads, I should say. What are you doing, Pablo? And on top of that, we have evil, evil people running the show in DC. I just read today Victoria Nuland, who's in charge of our Ukraine policy, who's corrupt as should be and should be in jail with Hillary. I just heard today that she was an advisor to Dick Cheney. Like, man, the hits just keep coming with these people, man. Hold on a second. Let me close. Hold on a second. It's just one big cabal. Dick Cheney, freaking Bill Cohen. Those are the Republican defense people. Then we got who's the other guys? Whoever the hell's on the Democrats, I don't even know anymore. It's all one big freaking cabal, and they're raping the American taxpayer. They're raping the Ukrainians. We raped the Russians after after the fall of commies. It's just we are the bad guys, not you and I personally. Our government is the bad guys, and to acknowledge that doesn't mean you're anti-American or you're a commie. Hell no, it just means we've done a lot of crap. I always chuckle. All these people say, "Oh man, you're what do they call me? I'm pro Putin." Or something like that. I said, let's freaking just, whatever. I literally could care less. I don't care. But it's like the same day we're griping about Putin invading Ukraine, the same day we bombed Syria and we bombed in Somalia. Huh? Yeah, right here. 3 years, 100%. I don't have that 3 years of cash, Rex. So that's the issue. I don't have 3 years of cash. 100. How many people get mad because I just said, oh, I can watch how many people drop off now. It's like, I can't believe he's anti-American. Freaking farthest thing from anti-American am I. Love the damn country. Even more, I love the people. But the issue is our government has gotten too corruptible. But look, my friends, it's always been like that. Don't I got yeah, I don't know where it's at, but it's always been like that. Just go back to the Civil War, the selling of railroad rights. It's always been like that. Now, communism has always been like that. Capitalism's not capitalism. Corporatism always been like that. The issue is I always thought corporations were in the business. This is my Milton Friedman. Again, Milton Friedman, man. I love the guy. Oh, here comes somebody. Oh, hi, Muddy. He's been running around out there getting the mud. This big old dog. What are you doing? You hanging? Anyway, I always thought that corporations were the point of a corporation was to make money for the shareholders. Um, okay. Turns out that's not necessarily the case. And I always wondered, I said, why is CNN, ABC, all these media outlets, why are they always left wing? Don't they realize there's a huge bunch of people that are not being spoken to, and they can increase their profit margins on their ad revenue by going after the masses? I never understood. I was like, well, I don't get it because it wasn't money making for them. They're like, they don't care. They don't. These corporations just don't. I mean, obviously they want to make a profit, but they don't care. They're just there to make enough money to pay the salaries. It's nuts. And I said, anyway, I'll never forget that. I said, it doesn't make sense. But now we're seeing what's happening in the last 3-4 years that corporations said, we don't care about making money. We just care about virtue signaling. 1 second. Right. Like another dog is getting, so they're like, they don't care about the profit, the bottom line anymore. Stakeholder capitalism is not what Milton Friedman said, where he said that the shareholders come. I mean, the point of a business is to maximize profits for the owners of the company, shareholders. That's not like that anymore. I'm not quite sure it's ever been like that, but there's another dog. Anyway, exactly. Markets always have come back, but how long does that take? Years, months, exactly. Leo says, any benefit to after tax 401k contribution or just max out your 401k and your Roth? Yeah. I mean, I just put mine in my brokerage account 100%. 100%. 100K in mason jars is my goal. Sleep better at night with cash. 100%, man. Where do you live there, semi-trailer technician? Give us your address, would you? What average middle class American has years of cash put away? Speaking of cash, how much should average middle class American have? Well, like I said, I don't know what an average middle class American is, but when I look at retiring, 4 years of cash is the way to go. I've said that, I mean, 1,000 times if I said it once. Now, for people who are working and have a job, you don't need that much because you have pay coming in. However, as I think about all the time, if if you don't remember what happened in 2008, not only did the stock market get killed 57% from October 2007 to March of 2009, many of us lost our jobs. I didn't, thankfully, but many of us did. And on top of that, our home values sunk as well. So not only did you lose your assets, your investment assets, you lost your job and your home value was underwater. You know what did not lose? Cash. Man. All right. Reject bad science. Bring back the. 1 second.
Hello?
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Hey, you're on speaker and you're on my live stream right now.
Why?
Did you post something that says Pablo says hi?
Yes.
What does that say? Reject bad science, bring back the what?
Smile.
Bring back the oh yeah, right on. Reject bad science, bring back the smile. I love it. All right, cool.
All right.
Anything you want to say to the crowd here?
No, I saw you took a phone call from Liam. Crazy. All right, people just want to hear about financial planning.
What's that?
I said people just want to hear financial planning.
All right, love you. All right,
love you. Bye.
Okay. Whoa, your breath stinks. That's what. Bring back. See that? Reject bad science. Bring back the smile. Oh yeah, love it. All right. Have you seen I have seen Ukraine on fire. Yep. Yep. Now I got to watch Fahrenheit 9/11. I can't believe it, man. I mean, I always thought Oliver Stone was nuts. Now I'm starting to think maybe that guy's not as bad as I thought. Now I got to see Michael. What's that clown's name? Michael Moore. Should I watch his movies too? Jeez Louise. Hey Roger, what's going on? Rita said she retired 4 months ago, 3 months ago. Got to have some cash to float me at 100%. Choctaw, Oklahoma. Gotcha. Brussels sprouts. Russia will not stop at Ukraine. Poland next, because Brad has insight into what Putin's thinking about. Just this is where we get in the war. They're not going to stop until we're all speaking Russian. They're not going to stop. I'm sick of this. Frankly, it bores me. It just is so insane. So we better go in there. It's what they said about the Muslims. We better get those Muslims in Iraq before they get us in the United States. And yet Iraq had never attacked the United States. Iraq, turns out, didn't have weapons of mass destruction. We better get those Afghanis, those goat herders in Afghanistan, before they get us here. Because the Saudi Arabians, the supposed terrorists, were Afghanistan. Okay, interesting. I hate that stuff. I hate it. Like, we better get them before they get us here. Then you can go on all day long, man. We better get the Chinese before they come here. We better get the freaking, who knows, Genghis Khan before he comes here. This whole, it's just stupid, man. All right. Is it best to retire end of year or use vacation time and retire end of February? I don't know, but if you're talking use vacation time and retire like now, I would absolutely. We got Ike. All right, so Mike. Okay, Ike's got what's that? 1.7 monthly expenses, about $8,000 a month on for all things. And he's got 1.7. So we take our trusty calculator. We say 8. That's gonna be what, 96,000 a year, right? 8 times 12, 96,000 a year. Divide that by 1.7. That's a 5.6% distribution rate. That's before Social Security kicks in. I'd be sayonara, boss. I am out of here. Hey, Japan, Okinawa fishing. Oh, man, look at that. Wow, good stuff. Oh, Rex has got to go. It's too late for him. Rex says, I got to leave. It's too late. I can't stay up late past my bedtime. Just goofing. Is there a best month to retire in? Choctaw was AWACS call sign during Desert Storm. Non-American English speakers cannot say the word properly. Interesting. Non-American English speakers cannot say the word Choctaw. Huh. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hey, Mark, what's going on in Philly? We got Forrest Star. I'm 25 and in school. I'm interested in retirement planning specialization. Do I have any certifications or designations I would recommend? It looks like you're already doing the personal financial planning school and the CFP. That's all you need. I'm in California. We get the sun is 80 today, and the low can be about 58. But I got my plants from a local gardener who grows them in a hothouse. Right on. Hey, Quincy. We have men winning NCAA titles. What a messed up world. How dare you, Quincy? How freaking dare you? How dare you? We have women winning the Women Doctor of the Year award. Oh my goodness. Women, you know what I'm saying? Helio Campos, all right. We're gonna talk about that. Holy crap, Helio Campos is really upset or really fired up on her question. Hey, Terry and John, right on. All right. Oh, stop the certifications. If you're getting your CFP, it's fine. Stop. Certifications, that's what happens with these young guys. They so let me real quick, guys. Well, and this, you don't take this wrong, Forrest. A lot of these young guys, because they don't have experience, they feel they need to get education, credentials. That's the wrong answer. And what's going to happen is that these guys are going to go through instead of talking to people about their financial planning, is where you get experience. They're going to continue on the credentialed route. And sadly, the world is littered with failed credentialed financial planners because they don't talk to enough people. And the best experience is talking to people. No other way around that. And it hurts because you're going to be told 1,000 times, no, 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 I don't want a young guy. Like they're going to look at this guy and say he's too young. Right? But most will, some won't. And the some won't will be your lifeblood to learn and to earn an income and to propel you to bigger and better things as you get more experience. I'm just telling you. The problem is that as you take that window of or open the window of getting more and more credentials, that's less time you have talking to people. Nick Murray talks about this in his book, The New Financial Advisor. It's the best book there is. The New Financial Advisor by Nick Murray. It changed my life, 100%. All the damn credentials of the world don't mean crap if you're not talking to people. You got to talk to people. It's not personal financial planning via a book. It's personal financial planning via talking to people, one-on-one. Yeah, you got to overcome being young. Well, we all had to do that. What do you do? You overcome being young. You say, yeah, I am young. Give me a shot. I think I can earn your trust. You become a student of the business, which means you read. I don't deny that you don't read. I don't deny that you shouldn't study and stuff, but you're not sitting there looking at your stupid fantasy football stuff all day long. You're not sitting there, buying and selling, putting freaking limit orders on stocks. That's not financial planning. You're reading about things that mean much to people. And that's Social Security planning, Medicare, like my man said, life insurance, all that stuff. The products that are out there, the solutions they can provide, the pros and cons, all this stuff. Getting another designation after CFP is just why? Look, man, I get it. I mean, I get it. You're young. You're like, oh man, no one's going to take me seriously. I better have credentials to prove myself. No, you're killing yourself, man. I'm just telling you. You will fail if you go that route. Because what happens is you're not talking to enough people, and you got to talk to people to learn what's on their minds. That's why I always say going to the banking world is the best thing that ever happened to me for a financial planner, because everyone has a banking relationship, and you have all different types of people you're talking to, have everything. But when you're only talking about investments and stuff like that, you're not in the real world. The bank is a real world. So anyway, Nick Murray's New Financial Advisor, the best thing there is, man, without question. Chicken said he retired at 50 due to lockdowns. My wife still works with health insurance. The hardest thing in the beginning is finding a steady routine. Yeah, 100%, man. And there's Homer. Right on, man. I have long-term care insurance. I don't like it, that's for sure. And I'll drop it the minute my mortgage is paid. Absolutely. Yeah, right here. My man Tom says, with the current price of gas, I'm saving $200 a month by not driving to work. Yep. Okay, the guy from New Hampshire. So my crappy old job has become my crappy old effing job. With lump sum pension, I have about 200,000 plus 300,000 cash, almost 59 and no debt. What? See ya. I'm freaking out, man. Now look, I say that I don't want to say facetious, but I just say that because at the end of the day, like you gotta go back to my man Chicken Charlie here, where he said the hardest thing about it is finding a steady routine. I mean, you got to find something to do with your life, 100%. But dude, I mean, if I had a COFJ, I'm out. The inflation will get worse before it gets better. I predict double-digit inflation before it goes back down. Yeah, probably, but it's not going to go back down because the Fed's raising interest rates. It's just stupid. Yeah, right here. Best thing I did was get a job 1.5 miles from work. 100%. Yeah, I completely agree. VGLI, not a. Yeah, I'd drop VGLI in 2 seconds flat, and I would get it's just expensive, and it gets more and more expensive, and insanely expensive. I just get a private policy through USA or something like that to replace VGLI 100%. VGLI is Veterans Group Life Insurance. SGLI is Soldiers Group Life Insurance. SGLI is subsidized when you're in active duty. VGLI it's like every 5-year increment. So I think it's 40 to 44, 45 to 49, 40 to 50. and it just gets incredibly expensive. You can actually see the VGI tables. It's nuts. Don't pay for that. I've been to Newport News a couple of times. I remember uh, my brother and I were down. He got married in Williamsburg, and we went down there. The day before his wedding, just drove around, and we went to. I think it was in Norfolk actually, and it was on the water. It was pretty run down. Very urban, if you know what I'm saying. And but you could see there were like some gays moving in. And one thing I learned from my dad is that when the gays move in, that's when the real estate value starts going up. Because back then, nowadays it's kind of cool to be gay. I get it. So it's not nearly the. Back then though, the gays had to put up with a lot of crap. There's no other way around that. And so the gays that were going to these inner city urban environments, they just had freaking balls of steel. And when they would go in there and they'd redevelop things, not even gentrifying it, but make it more artsy, make it more fancy, make it more amenable for whites to come in. And what would happen is then the gays would move in, and then the art people would come in, and then the prices would slowly start going up, driving a lot of the urban area out, sadly. And then what would happen is the wealthy would start moving down. Anyway, so we saw this probably 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I guess 20 years ago. I'll never forget where we're sitting there, and there's these like duplex or even row houses, just it was just run down. You know what I'm saying? With the windows boarded up and just hoodlums walking around, and you got the water right here, but you slowly saw some gay white guys walking around. And you're like, oh boy, this is gonna be booming. I can't remember where it was. I'll just never forget that. I said, man, if I had any money, I'd be investing in real estate right here. And that's the way you make money in real estate. Find out where the gays are going and follow them. Now, I don't know I don't know how legit this is anymore, given that it's not hard to be gay today. I mean, hell, you get rewarded for being gay because you're now one of the you're not you're a victim, because the only people that are not victims anymore are white Christian males. You know what I'm saying? White Christian straight males. Everybody else is a victim in some regard. So, but back then the gays actually had to put up with a lot of crap. Now they don't. Now it's like they're just as bad as anyone else. It's insanity. In fact, if anything, they're trying to get revenge, which is too bad because the plight of the gays is something that we should be wary of and say, that's not right. Treat people like that. But now, like a lot of these newfound gays who probably aren't even gay, they just want to be the cool kids, and it's cool to be gay. And they're like, I'm not straight anymore, but I don't like those straight white guys, so I'm gay, and I'm gonna hide behind my minority status. It's such a freaking fake. It's so damn fake. It pisses me off. I'm like, everybody knows it's fake, and yet they're getting again. We have two groups of people in the United States: American blacks, all right, and then the American Indians. Everybody else, yeah, they might have had this discrimination, but no one had the same level of discrimination as American Indians and American blacks. Not even close. I don't want to hear it. Gays had some bad discrimination too, 100%. But the newfound gays, they've never discriminated against. They're just like, dude, the world freaking lays down in front of you because everyone's afraid that you're going to be freaking screaming that you're a homophobe. And everyone's sick of that crap. So everyone's sick of this stuff, man. No one wants to hear this anymore. It's like, no. What the hell? And we all know the only bad guys anymore are the straight white guys. And secondly, it would still be straight black guys. Everyone hates those guys too. It's crazy. If you're a straight black guy and you have to think for yourself and you don't do if you're Kyrie Irving, don't take the jabba, or if you're Kwame Brown and don't follow the media, just because you're a black guy, everyone still hates you too. It's crazy. It's nuts. It's the straight men who are getting all the arrows thrown at. But if you put a black guy, well, actually, I don't know. Even black guys might be worse because if they don't follow what the media wants them to do, because everyone expects white guys to be, freaking rednecks and stuff, so they just hate us anyway. But they actually have hope that the black guy will be lived, and if the black guy's not lived, they hate him even more because you're supposed to stay in the reservation. How dare you think for yourself? Because they already hate us. That's crazy. All right, so lamb leg, all right, says unless market is down at retirement, would it be unwise to live off pre-tax 401k first before starting 2 pensions and annuity. Man, I can't even comment. I don't have. I'm not sure what we've got going on there. It's a good question. I just don't know enough about your circumstance. Here's my man Jake from Western Mass, retired August 2020, and he's loving it. That's fantastic. Thanks, Kim. Actually, my mom was giving me some good insight to my book, and I'm changing around a little bit, so it's gonna be good. It's coming. It's coming. I just gotta freaking do it. Sitting by the dock of the bay, Dodger Blue. I used to love the Dodgers. Retired 2 hours ago. I never realized retiring is so exhausting. It's been retired for 2 hours. Oh, that's funny. Everyone, yeah, right on, Jimmy. Everyone hit the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Dodger Blue said he had 32 years, great people, and love them, but it's time to hang it up. The body has the final say. Yeah. Willie Brown's mistress versus Kamala. Isn't Kamala Willie's Brown mistress? That's why they call her Heels Up Harris, right? I'm pro good and anti bad. I'm not sure what that means. All right, Kim says she wants to apply for Social Security at 64 or 65. I don't want to wait till full retirement age, but the problem is I'm taking restricted survivor benefits. I don't want to lose those. Exactly. LD is 59 now, wants to stop working at 59 and a half. All right, 6 months. I'll wait until Social Security at 70. I need 40,000 a year. If I draw from stocks, if I draw from stocks, 0% capital gains rate, but I pay 12% income tax. Well, if you're single, if you're married filing jointly, no, you're not going to pay any tax. I don't know what other kind of income you have. I'm assuming you're single. I don't know if you're single, but if you're married, no. And if you're single, pretty close, but I think it'll probably be okay. Just me. After hearing you discuss the Affordable Care Act, I've been looking at retirement. 58, no debt, $2,700 a month pension, 2 years salary. Say I'd really want to do it. Look at that, no debt, $2,700 a month. The whole point is no debt. 100. New York Times now admits that Hunter Biden is a crackhead. Wow. Linda says, if you have 2 years to retire, what do you do in this market I prepare for? Wellesley. 4 years cash in Wellesley. That's what I'd recommend, just like I was talking to my man today. What's that? Oh. Hey, who's that? Chloe or Mads? You don't want to give me some water, would you? Hey, Mike. Huh? Come on, girl. My hair is in a towel. I can't come to the video. Linda, just tell you, man, if I'm 2 years from retirement, I'm being safe rather than sorry. 4 years cash in Wellesley. 4 years cash Wellesley, and friggin' that's what I'm doing. Josh can be really sarcastic when you're talking sometimes. It's so funny. You're talking about Sniffy Joe and he's winning the election. You're cracking me up. Yeah, Sniffy Joe is the most popular president of all time. Yeah, whoa. Moderna's CEO received a $900 million golden parachute. Do we know that to be true? Do we know? I mean, I'm not doubting it, Jake. I just heard someplace the other day that Zelensky had a $35 million beach house or something like that at Florida. I was like, I don't know that to be true or not. And I tried doing some research. I saw some sites that I wasn't quite convinced of. So I don't know. I don't know that to be true or not. I just don't know. Thanks. Sure you don't want to get on the thing? No one cares. Whatever, girl. All right, well, there he is. Come on, Pops. Look at him. Oh, there he is. He misses Dad when I was gone. Denise says healthcare fund is paying out an estimate $3.62 capital gains, which I have an IRA set to reinvest. Absolutely. Yeah, but even if even if you didn't reinvest, there would be no tax hit to these. I don't get it. So if it's an IRA, it doesn't matter if you reinvest or not. It's not taxed. Has anyone had this Italian soup? Wedding cakes. I never heard of it. It's an Italian soup called wedding cake? I could kill some Italian. Scott's starting to think 2 years cash is enough. All right. This is when you know the market is overbought. 2 years cash is enough. Okay. Okay. Yeah, if we've forgotten, we've forgotten. Yeah, I like I bonds, but you're limited how much you can put in there. So I've lost 45 pounds since Denise. Wow. I have to make myself eat. I have to make myself eat, may go to the doctor, make sure nothing wrong, but it's crazy. I've never been this thin since junior high. Wow, Kim. Freaking ass kicking. That is awesome. My EF is 6 months cash, 6 months I bonds, and 1 year Invesco. Too much risk in the bullish shares? I don't know that much about them. Blah, blah, blah. Russia, Russia, Russia. All a bunch of manipulation and control of the American people by our government. 100%, Kevin. And people just don't get it. I don't get it, man. Is that Kev? I use the bucket system with enough cash for medical, vacations, donations. I don't care about the market fluctuation that much. Yeah, wait till the market fluctuates. Just wait, man. David, so it seems like you're on the fence by the sale of our Nantucket property. We're meeting with a realtor this weekend. Tough decision was to get close to retirement. It's tough, man, 100%. But I wouldn't just, you got to look at it in terms of what you can get for what you got to do with the proceeds, if that makes sense. I have no desire at all to be in rental real estate. That just sounds like a freaking nightmare to me. Like I'm kind of lazy. I'm not that mechanical, but that just sounds like hell on earth. So if that's you and you're only getting 3%, in terms of the distribution yield, that's what I'd call it, to put it as equivalent to a dividend. For me, it wouldn't be worth it. But yes, you're going to have to pay some capital gains too. Don't forget, most likely, maybe not, especially if you've been depreciating some of that property, the assets in the property, you're going to pay capital gains. What does my cash position come from? Saving cash or slowly drawing out cash needed from portfolio before retirement while market is up? My cash position, I think, is anything kind of guaranteed. That would be, CDs, money market, checking savings account. I even go as far as Ginnie Mae Fund, which is the government National Mortgage Association bonds. It's not quite cash. It's definitely not cash. It's a security, but I'm pretty comfortable with using a Ginnie Mae because it's guaranteed. The bonds in that are guaranteed by the federal government. Right. Yeah, look at that. That by Wellington Berkshire Hathaway. Freaking not gonna be issues. I'm not gonna yell at you. Hey, it's Rebecca. Right on. Good evening, Rebecca. Rachel Levine. Now there's a looker. I can set you up, Jake. I just hold 4 buckets: Wellington, Berkshire Hathaway, and cash. 100%. Delaware is fantastic. Yeah, I look, man. You can't beat Delaware. I won't retire there. I won't. But Delaware is fantastic. 100%. Big fan. I think what's going to happen is Brian says, is the Great Reset real? Will we lose everything? I actually think what's going to happen is they're bringing the pain, and they're going to make it hurt so much that we ask that the majority of people, they ask for the government to help. Have you heard already? They're talking about a guy from a CNBC or somebody was saying, because the prices of gases are so high, we need stimulus checks. And you can see what's going to happen here. They have no desire at all to develop more pipelines, none to develop more fracking. They don't have any desire. But they have 9,000 unused leases. They're freaking idiots. These people are just so dumb. And the sad thing is a lot of American people fall for it. It's just nuts, man. Anyway, it's just idiotic. Anyway, the point being is there's no desire, and we know that because Obama said, under my plan, the price of electricity will have to skyrocket. Joe Biden said we'll get rid of fossil fuels. We're going to kill the coal companies. All these guys have said this on the left for 15 years. That's what they've been wanting to do for years and years and years and years. And now we're dealing with it. And as such, we're in a world of hurt because we don't have the resources for what we need. but we still have the need for it. We just don't have the resources to provide it. So scarcity creates inflation. That's all right, a little bit to do with government printing, not that much. It has to do with government regulations, government policy, public policy. Point being, I think what they're going to do is say, okay, we're going to make it hurt. We're going to make it hurt. If you do what we say, we'll make it easy on you. We're not going to take away your stuff. We're not going to take away your business. We're just going to make it hard for you to conduct business. We're not going to take away your stuff. We're just going to make it hard for you to live a normal life, just like they did under COVID. That's just a trial run. That's just a trial run. Thankfully, because Trump put a little bit of fly in the ointment, I think it pushed him. That made him run a little bit too fast. I don't think they wanted to do it as fast as they did, but still, it's pretty doggone effective. Look how many people fell under the. Just look how I cannot believe people can't see this. It went from BLM. It went from Me Too to BLM to COVID to freaking Ukraine. And it's insanity. And I can't. And the sad thing is, the people. This is what drives me up the wall. When COVID came out, the people who did not fall for climate change or Me Too or BLM, they fell for COVID. Then Ukraine comes out, and the people who didn't fall for COVID are now falling for the Ukraine stuff. Like, the media always lies to you. Why are you believing them now? Why do you think they're telling the truth? It's the weird, like these conservatives, right wingers who used to support me, and I don't buy any of it. And they're like, "Oh, you're pro Putin." I'm like, "This isn't you. You saw how much they lied. How could you possibly?" It's the weirdest thing to me. It's nuts. And so, how will they get me? I don't even know. They'll say they'll be able to get me somehow. I don't know how. But I'm sitting there, I'm watching people fall for Ukraine who didn't fall for COVID. But I'm watching people fall for COVID who didn't fall for BLM and Me Too, and who didn't fall for climate change. And it's like there's something out there that makes I don't know what it'd be. I might be too far gone to fall for it, because they could have probably got me with China if probably 2 years ago. Now I won't fall for China now. So it's not, these people aren't serious. They lie about everything. Everything. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, listen to my man Steve Dace the other day. He goes, I start with the assumption the media is lying, that no matter what they say is a lie. And I don't care if they're lying about the guy you hate. You have to assume they're lying about everything. And yet a lot of people can't. It's weird to me. It's actually quite frightening. Anyway, so point being is they're going to make it hurt. And the media still controls the narrative, which is insane to me. And the narrative, not just among idiot liberals, but I hate to say it, a lot of idiotic conservatives too. They fell for it a little bit on the COVID stuff. Many of them did, and then they're a lot more falling for the Ukraine thing. It's crazy. Anyway, so then they're going to do something else. They're going to say, well, if you don't want this to hurt, just do what we say. Take the jab, or I don't know, taking a Ukraine refugee. I mean, whatever it's going to be. I don't know, but they're not going to take it away. They're going to make it hurt so much that you will voluntarily relinquish it. You're going to give up your rights to own a firearm if that's how you put food on the table. I'm telling you right now. They're not going to come to your door and say, give me your AR. They're going to say, if you want food, you got to give me your AR, and you'll gladly do it. You can see that a mile away. It's coming. And I don't know when, where, how, but it's coming. Just a side note, don't forget, Trump was the biggest vaccine salesman in the history of mankind. It's coming out more and more. It's pretty much becoming undeniable now that the vax really has hurt people. Now, obviously, I have to delete this when we're done here because I'll get banned for life from everything. And that's going to be a legacy on Trump. It will be. And it should be, frankly. You start pushing the thing that didn't have the test run that was needed, it should fall back on you. So even though I like Trump, I voted for him. I was pissed off when he lost because I know he didn't lose in a normal way. But still, at the end of the day, he did deliberately push, and he still does, this narrative that he saved hundreds of millions of lives with this thing that was not tested, was not trial run, was just completely bad. And we're seeing it all over the place. And it's only going to get worse. By the same people who want a depopulation, Bill Gates and all these guys, they want a Jabba to keep the population living. It doesn't make any sense. And yet Trump, he pushed it. So don't look to politicians as our savior. You can't, because they're not. There's not going to be anyone out there who's going to save us from this. The only person going to save us, we know, is Jesus. And I don't know when he's coming back. Probably not in our own lives, but but you're going to have to do the best to save yourself. And that's just all there is to it. And you can say that's fear born. I frankly don't care. It just is so blindly obvious. From Me Too to BLM to COVID to Ukraine, it's insanity, man. It's crazy how the narrative can focus on this one thing and everything else is for naught. All right, a lot of people have this problem. My man Brian is retiring in 11 weeks. He has 3 buckets, second guessing all this cash in conservative investments. I know we won, but I feel like there's a lot more to make. Right? A lot more to make, huh? For what point? For what point, Brian? What's the point of making more? That's what I just want to ask. What's the point? I'm not yelling at you. Just what's the point? I'm not retiring. Well, am I retiring North Carolina? I doubt it. Look, for me, I'm from Maine. Virginia. I'd probably never get my wife to retire to Maine. Virginia's just got everything I need. I love Virginia. I just Virginia's just is freaking everything right about Virginia. It really is. So I like Georgia 100%. North Carolina's great, but I don't have any North Carolina in me. I'm Virginian and Maine. That's it. And at the end of the day, you got to compromise with a better half, and she's a Virginian. I would have retired to West Virginia in 2 seconds. Ain't gonna happen with that slave driver. Oh man, Hotep Jesus, big fan of Hotep Jesus. Hey, yeah, man, Alan, yeah, yes. New books in the pipeline. Yes, I got to get rid of. I say this every single time. I just got to do it. Average Joe, Josh, I'm planning on using rental income at my retirement age, 62 through 70, with a sale of rental property affect the tax I pay on Social Security when I'm 70. Probably, yes, 100%. Roger said I got a fortune cookie last week and said the man that knows he has enough is rich. Looking forward to hanging up the boots in 2022. Right on, Roger. You're a good man. I don't care what they say. Matt Triss said, I finished CFP program about 12 weeks ago, but only put it to use for self and family work as a rocket science, ready to get out and do something else. Right on, dude. 100%. You should, what you should do, Mattress 68, is be a financial coach. Be a financial coach. Help people who need help with their finances, man. You know what I'm saying? And fantastic. You got it, Forrest. Good luck to you, man. We need you out there, Forrest. We need you out there. Just don't worry about the credentials so much. Northern Capitan, who's sitting up there in Maine, sitting outside boiling down, making maple syrup tonight. Right on. Retirement is okay. Okay. That's it. Italian wedding soup. Oh, you have VGI, but you're still in the military? I don't get that. That's weird. My job's pretty good, flexible, only 3 days. Yeah, right on, man. Harry, I find myself overextended doing community service with several organizations. Retirement is anything but boring. Yeah, I remember when I when I was at the American Legion in Dayton, Virginia, post 42, I think. I was like one of the youngest guys. Next thing I know, I'm the whatever the guy is who recruits, takes the adjunct, I think is what they call it. I was like, dude, I got 4 kids at home. It's like, just somehow I got. I'm sure Harry has the same thing. He shows up at an organization. We need someone to do that. He's like, all right, I'll do it. Kim paid Costco diesel $5.69 a couple days ago. Jeff B is late again. I'm going to sick Finney on you. North Pole is 507. Damn. Values and morals have disintegrated in America. Both my grandfathers served in World War II, and they're being spit on in their 100%. My freezer is stocked. I've bought several survival food. I have a bug out cabin. I live on less than I bring in. My retirement does not need as much as I thought. That's pretty awesome. SRE climbed 20% in the last month. I don't know what SRE is. Let's take a gander. Ooh, anytime that you want me. Ooh, anytime that you need me. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ooh. SRE is, I think it's, the hell is SRE? Energy stock. Went from 130 to 150 in, yeah, just a couple days' time. Sempra, all right. Got 3% dividend yield right there. Whitey's ice cream sounds racist and it sounds good. Whitey's ice cream here. You're gonna get banned because you said white. How dare you? How dare you? Ooh. They better have rainbow flags out there. Yeah, right on. Kim's got to spend some money on her wardrobe. That's right, Denise. She's down 44 pounds. My man Greg says he's retired 2 years ago, living off Social Security and a small pension, $4,100 a month, everything paid off. It's freaking awesome. Anyone have some green beer? My oldest had a pint. No, I guess a pint of Guinness, and it looked good. I was like, damn, that looked good. And she gave, my two sons had a sip. They did not like it. So I was like, well, that's probably good because man, I could drink some Guinness till the cows go. Makes sense to convert to 24% bracket. Currently converting up to the 22%. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Sure, absolutely. I mean, it's only 2% increase in your taxes. Damn, CEO's pay package was on the Gateway Pundit. Yeah, I agree. Gateway Pundit. Everyone says, well, the Gateway Pundit said this about something that was wrong. I'm like, have you ever looked at the New York Times? I love when they bash like the Gateway Pundit or Breitbart. I said they were wrong about this from 5 years ago. I said, well, the New York Times are wrong about this like from 30 seconds ago, but no one ever says, oh. What's up, buddy? Well, that's not a white beater. It's a real T-shirt. It's not a white beater. I just got the garden, man. That's what I was doing. Nancy. All right. Ah. Let's pray for Nancy's brother-in-law. Dear Heavenly Father, we pray for Nancy's brother-in-law who's with you now. We pray for those who are left behind. We pray for those who are fighting loss of loved ones right now. Just tragedy. Just tragedy. We just pray for their ability to come out the other end. And we just pray in Jesus' name, amen. Sorry to hear that, Nancy. That's depressing. I hate that. I mean, look, we're all gonna die, but damn, it still sucks. Retiring this summer as full retirement age. Yeah, short-term rentals, man. I got no qualm with it. Linda says, if you retire in 2 years, bear market coming, which it may take, what do you do now? Yeah, like I think, Linda, I said to somebody else, make sure you got at least 4 years cash. If I'm 2 years out, 4 years cash, the rest in Wellesley. Just like I told this guy today. I said, man, cash, Wellesley, there's nothing else you can do. Literally nothing else you can do. Yeah, right here. Well, Jeff, same thing. What I'm saying. Yeah, thanks for sharing that with us. A good lesson. Everyone thinks they're going to live to 90, 100%. I could not agree more. Could not agree more. Yeah, right here. Robert says, was furloughed from work at age 65 2 years ago. After 3 months, they called me back in. But then it was summer in East Tennessee. I told them to kiss off. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, jeez. His last son is going to hospice next week? Yeah. I think I get, yeah, right here. Exactly. Media is the enemy, man. It's not Putin or China. It's our own people right here, the media. And don't tell me the Democrats control the media. No. Rush Limbaugh always said this. The media controls the Democrats. Who controls the media? Is that freaking cabal? Is money in Roth equivalent to cash if there's no 10% penalty? Yeah, I actually look at my Roth as my cash even with a 10% penalty, 100%. Now it's all invested, but still, I look at that as my first way to. I have a brokerage account, which is I have an emergency fund, But I got a brokerage account, I got my Roth, I got my IRA. So my brokerage account is what I'm plugging in. Every 2 weeks, I'm putting in 2,000 a week. Every 2 weeks, 2,000 every 2 weeks into VTI. All right. And then I got my Roth, which is invested in I forgot off the top of my head, the stocks. And then I got my Wellington fund. So I go cash, brokerage, Roth, Wellington fund. Yeah, 100%. 55, good age for super savers and no debt. 100%. All right, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here, man. I'm getting tired. We're gonna see you guys. Thanks again for being here. Much obliged. Sorry about read my books on my YouTube. All right, did I do that before? Sorry to hear. West Virginia, right on, mattress. Yeah, right on. Yeah. Man, it just kills me. Sorry to hear that. The media is the virus, 100%, man. Wonder why I can't see some chats. You must be on the Josh Scanlon one, Marie, instead of the Heritage Wealth Planning. Yeah, so actually, I didn't. Yeah, that's a good point. If you're on the Josh Scanlon one, you can't see all the chats, and most people are on the Heritage Wealth Planning one. If that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, my friends. Appreciate you. Hey, Bruce is in the house. Hey, Terry, right on, Terry. All right, right on. All right. Hey. New York City worker says, "Can I get tax deferred annuity earlier than 59?" I'm not sure what she's saying. Sorry, man. Oh, you're on here. Are you on your phone, Marie? Because your phone, you got to look at. There should be a thing underneath it that says live chats, like um. So I'm listening to this one right here. You can see where it says live chat right there, because this is a live one. Let me try that. All right, and get out of here, my friends. Getting tired. Peace in the hood. God bless y'all. We'll see you guys.